that complete douchebag he's playing. Yeah.
Oh, that's what. Okay, when you were like saying, I
That
was like,
pick me fuck.
He really is the worst though.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that got me was there's a conversation that he and Allison have after he abandons Rhaenyra, and he tells Allison, what does he say? He says that Rhaenyra is a selfish cunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, shut the like. First of all, I don't have an aversion to that word necessarily. I have Australians on one half of my family. That being said,
You took your armor off too, buddy.
yeah, you've got some
you
fucking
helped with
nerve.
the straps,
Yeah.
dog.
Oh, I really hate that man.
My biggest issue is he was there when they both witnessed the white deer, which was like the literal symbolic
The stag.
bestowing, yeah, the stag, the symbolic like naming of the true heir for the land.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't give a fuck about that. Also,
Swear to God.
speaking of which, how stupid is it that as a king, you tell everyone you're going on a hunt, and what you mean is that you're going to have 20 younger, more able-bodied men go out and catch the animal and tie it down, and then you're going to stab it with a stick.
well, I mean,
It's
yeah.
good to be the king.
I know. It's just is that it's like
Doesn't sell tickets, Daniel.
I know. It's also I will say, so you guys might remember, and I'll get through this and we'll be done because I could probably talk about this forever. But in season 1 of Game of Thrones, Robert Baratheon dies on a hunt.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
He gets stuck by a boar.
Yep.
Apparently, and they show a part of this hunt, which is just 4 guys trudging through the woods. Right. It's like Robert and Lancel Lannister before Cersei started fucking him, and a couple of other guys, probably Barristan Selmy, and Renly maybe. But apparently George R. R. Martin was pissed because, and I didn't know this, but back in the day in medieval England or whatever, when a king went on a hunt, it was really like House of the Dragon, where it was this huge festival with tents and hundreds of people, and they all go on a big fucking Burning Man camping trip, and they go on a hunt, right? But in season 1 of Game of Thrones, they didn't have the money for it, so they just they took 4 guys out in the woods, and they're like, okay, walk around, and that was their big hunt. And I guess that scene that episode was George R. R. Martin's way of like reclaiming.
That's how you should have done it.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of hunts, entirely unrelated to what I'm about to say, non sequitur, this is the 23rd episode of our weekly Star Wars tabletop RPG called Gungans and Dragons. We weren't here last week, I think.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. No, we didn't have it last week, did we?
We didn't.
Yes,
No.
agreeing with you.
Yeah. So we're back from a week off. I think someone it doesn't matter. What was I gonna? I should write this shit down before I say it because I never remember it. Coming up this week, before we start, Chris and I will be doing our live show Wednesday at 6:00, and I think that's the penultimate episode of The Bad Batch.
Yep.
And Star Wars news and other things. I don't know. Do you have time to watch Rebel Moon 2 by then?
Time, probably. Desire, no.
Well, I don't have the desire either. Other than by the
Can
way,
we just pretend it doesn't exist then?
we can't because then we wouldn't be able to make fun of it. Also, Zack Snyder did one of those like Wired interviews where he talks about all the shit that he's done, and like I try to give him as much credit as I can because the dude went through some really terrible shit. Like his daughter committed suicide when they were doing Batman vs Superman, and he had to step away from it and everything. It was really terrible. He seems to, however, revel in the whole like Snyder cut bullshit that just like really gets under my. I don't know why, but like I was so tired of hearing about that. But they kept showing clips of all of his movies, and all of his movies, including 300, looks like someone just took this jar of Vaseline and scooped out a big glob of it and smeared it all over the camera lens. And then Zack Snyder's like, cinema. This is my movie. I think the same thing. Between that and like the slow motion. We should do Scargiver or whatever it is, and maybe we'll talk about it on Wednesday. And then something after that, we might start our Game of Thrones stuff this coming week, because if we're gonna get through Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon by June, we might have to start fairly soon. So the only way that you'll know about that is if you tune in for the live show. And then throughout the week, I'll probably play The Old Republic once or twice. I have a Jedi Shadow build that just got to Ilum. I'm like level 50, so that's been kind of cool. In fact, now that I don't know, Sean and April, what level your characters are, but we should probably at some point get together and do some like heroics or flashpoints, because that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
And then
trying it out.
Yeah, and then Battlefront also throughout the week. Now, our last episode, we had some political intrigue with the Jedi Council, and Sean, if I'm not mistaken, we have a mission to do for the Jedi today, right?
Yes. So while they're kind of deliberating on what to kind of do in the Outer Rim, involving like the kind of power vacuum, the council kind of gave you and Drolba an assignment, and I guess technically
we decided to involve our friends. I think we're gonna go pick them up, right?
Yeah. And you were.
But I think he means technically also Genko has been given this assignment.
Oh yeah, you're a Jedi now, Genko. Good job.
I'm a Padawan.
Yeah, congrats.
Which is great, because I've been like paddling in the ocean my entire life, so clearly the two are related.
What we'll do is, if we don't die during this mission, I'll tell the Jedi that these were your Jedi trials, and then you'll be a knight.
There you go. Tonight.
They might test his midichlorian levels and then just kind of be like, we didn't know this could go negative.
You know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's gonna be like Catch Me If You Can.
Where chlorians and high blood sugar.
Like, surely at some point Genko ate something with a midichlorian in it.
Yeah, guaranteed. Especially when we were at that dark Sith fortress.
I imagine this like Catch Me If You Can scenario where we just keep making up reasons why you can't take the physical blood test. Like, just make it a huge scam. By the way, Chris says, "May the Force be with you, Daniel. I hope you're having a good night, and everyone in the group is having a good night." Yeah, it's pretty all right, man. How are you? Also, I think the next one I'll probably have to answer in character. So, Kel. Oh, by the way, I play a Chiss Jedi named Kel, who has apparently has fans on social media that he talks to throughout the session. April, why don't you tell us about your character?
I play Briya. She's a thief, and she's from Coruscant, and now we're back on Coruscant, so that's nice.
Welcome home. Chris?
I play Chance. He's a pilot who has done some shady dealings with a Hutt and managed to walk away from a conversation with a bounty hunter unscathed, so he's got that going for him.
Where's Chance from?
He was born in space.
Oh, okay. Richard.
I play Drolba, a Jedi Knight who is a Hutt, and just looking to do right by his people in the Outer Rim.
And Monty, you want to tell us about your fraudulent Jedi Mon Calamari?
Yes, my name is Drolba. I am not a bounty hunter, and I'm not ready for this at all.
All right, Sean, our esteemed Gungan master, take us away. Lead us into the dark. The night is dark and full of terrors. Let's go.
Yes. So, but from just to get everyone back up to speed, though, you were given a mission to go down to like the very kind of like depths of Coruscant, and to retrieve a an item the Jedi are interested there.
Do we know
From
what it is?
You were told it was an artifact of some type, but you're not. But they weren't specific. You
It's that it was dangerous and surrendering it to the Jedi, right?
say it again.
It was dangerous and they were surrendering it to the Jedi?
Um, well, they think it's dangerous. But you're meeting with like some smugglers. And it's, I think, Daniel, I can't remember. Is it the further you down you go? You like, is it like 5,000 going down, or is it five? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like the numbers, you mean?
Yeah, is it descending order or ascending order? Coruscant.
I can't remember. In fact, the only number I know is 1313 because of the game.
I mean, I think in this it could be dealer's choice for this one, you know?
Okay, so I'll say it's
Okay, so the highest number is the wealthiest. Level 1 is the poorest. So the further you go down, the smaller the numbers get.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
it
get,
goes.
so I guess you're at 1, you're like at the surface level, which
Though,
is very miles down.
give me 1 second to cross-reference this because that was also an answer from Google AI, and now I do not trust it.
Or we could just go by that for now. He could inverse the numbers.
512. Okay, no. Okay, Wikipedia, which somehow strangely is more reputable and more trustworthy than AI, it confirms that. So the further we go down, the smaller the numbers get. Level 1 is where, if you've read Darth Maul Shadowhunter, it's where the Cathans live.
Okay.
Like I remember in the old EU, basically like the bottom levels were pretty much completely lawless.
Well, they have mutants down there.
Yeah, they
called
have their own like
Cathans.
biome. They have like if you want to get lost, you go down there.
Not like the cool mutants like X-Men, though.
No,
right?
no.
Like, scary
Like,
ones.
you don't go down there to get lost. You go down there to get eaten.
Oh.
Like,
I mean,
it's a bad time.
Getting eaten is another type of lost.
Though the story is Darth Maul chasing a Jedi and his Padawan through the underworld, like the first, like the ground level of Coruscant, and both groups trying not to die by mutants. And then Darth Maul being actually terrifying. It's a really good Darth Maul story, by the way. If you've not read it, it's really good.
Well, hopefully we're at least 1,000 levels up wherever we're meeting.
Where are we meeting, by the way?
Okay. So from what you guys were told, you're meeting on level 500.
Oh, okay. So that's way down there.
Spicy. Gotcha.
Oops, sorry. But yeah, they tell you that you're meeting that far down, just due to like the secrecy of the item.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds a little sketchy.
Is it cold the deeper you go down into Coruscant, or does it get warmer?
I think
it would get hotter.
I think all of
Yeah,
Coruscant is biocontrolled.
Okay.
Like, I think they control the air temperature on Coruscant with like a giant thermostat. It's like one guy in a room with the official Coruscant thermostat, and it's somebody's dad, so he always turns it down.
Yeah, all the women are a little too cold, but all the guys are fine.
Kel does have a notification on his holocommunicator that says, from a man named Chris, "I am good, thank you for asking. I can't believe the Bad Batch is coming to an end, and my friends you'd have to tell me, is that a holodrama that I've not caught up on? The Bad Batch. You guys heard of that? Sounds like a pretty neat show.
I don't think this is a very good bit, Daniel.
I'm doing the bit. I'm committed to the bit, Chris.
I have seen the Bad Batch. They're a pretty good bunch.
It's not a good bit. You're not a good bit.
You're referring to the bananas, right? Right, Genko?
Yes.
Anyway, how
I didn't know what that
do we
meant.
have a clear route to level 500?
Yeah, I'd say probably like that there's like an elevator.
Or take a taxi down or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have a direct elevator?
Well, so because like how in Andor, Luthen was on that elevator. I'd say there's probably like different, like there's probably like elevators, probably like
That rickety fucking elevator that could stop anywhere.
yeah, probably like something like that. Maybe like that's how you guys get down there.
Yeah, I imagine it would probably be a series of elevators that, like, each one degrades in quality.
Also, I think those only fit like 3 people, so Joel was gonna have to take the stairs down.
I'm not that big.
Did you get in contact with Did you get in contact with Chance and Briar?
Yes, I think we called them up on the last one, right? Because we're gonna meet them
Yeah,
somewhere. I can't
Calls
remember.
up and-
Yeah,
They were at their restaurant where Chance tried to almost got abducted.
I
Okay.
was never in any danger.
oh yeah, you're just out with the freedom fighters, right? At a bar.
Yeah. We're at Space Chuck E. Cheese having a space pizza party.
I'm sure you've worn out your welcome by now, right?
Probably.
We should probably go do the mission now.
Yeah. So I guess
I can give Chance some landing pad coordinates at the Jedi Temple, and you can come pick us up.
Yeah, so I guess me and Briar round up the freedom fighters and get back on the ship and go meet the Jedi folks.
They're all
Okay.
drunk.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so you pilot your ship back to the landing pad at the Jedi Temple, and then and then Kel, Jolba, and Genko, you see the ship land, and you actually see in the all the Mon Calamari as you board the ship, they're all kind of like satisfied because because you guys had like those like Gundark wings.
They've had some
The,
good food.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we doing? Where are we going?
So are they gonna go and just all lay on the floor of the cargo hold and fall asleep?
Yes, that's where they all go.
All right. Someone go mist them with some water so they're comfortable.
Okay.
Turn the sprinklers on.
Kel will just
Brian,
go through with like a squirt bottle, just like.
Briar's the native of Coruscant, right?
Yes.
So I'll mention that we have this mission at level 500. I ask if you've ever gone
No.
that low.
What?
That's
What level are you from?
1378.
That probably wasn't very easy to live there.
So I say, so in this case, with it being this low, would you recommend us bringing all of the armaments we have, or is this something more relaxed in your opinion?
No, this is definitely potentially dangerous. So, I mean, if anything, it's probably. I don't know what to expect because it's probably too high for there to be, mutants, but nobody sane usually goes down that far.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I can tell you
there
the
could be
Jedi
nothing,
don't
or
like to
there
come
could
down
be-
here. That's why they're sending our dumbasses down here.
Well, as Jedi, we're often sent on assignments like this. Be expected. And we are asking the council for a favor.
Well, then I guess we better check it out.
So what's the best?
All
What's the best way to get down? So we probably have to fly to a certain point, and then there'll be a turbo lift down, or maybe a taxi.
Are you asking me or sorry?
Anyone.
Off the ledge, like commandos, and just parachute when we're kind
Just
of
rappel,
about
like
at the
rappel
right-
down, zip line down.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty neat.
forever.
To like a
Yeah, the problem with Coruscant is there probably would not be a straight shot down.
streetwise
Well, there's got to be a metro map somewhere around
or
here.
A
Transportation.
I mean, there may very well be a straight shot down. It's just, will you survive the sudden stop at the end?
I mean, is
I'm
there?
just saying with how the buildings being built up like on top of each other, how the canyons.
well, obviously we'd take a ship or a speeder, but
Yeah, I was about to say, why? Chance, you can fly through anything, right? I mean, there are traffic lanes. We could probably just fly
Pilot
down.
in the galaxy.
I mean, I can fly through anything as long as there's open space. I don't know if there's going to be room between buildings that low.
So, Chance, you've been to Coruscant before, right? Or
One or two times.
okay. So, I mean, Brian, because like your character lived on Coruscant or grew up on Coruscant. I would say that you know that probably like after a certain point, maybe after like level, I'm gonna say 2000 or maybe 1500, that like just because like it's just buildings upon buildings upon buildings, that like you can't like ships and speeders can't fly down there at that just because like it's just so congested, if that makes sense.
okay. So you would have to find a smaller path after a certain point.
Well, presumably, in our mission details that the Jedi gave us, we should have a rendezvous point, right?
Yeah, that's on level 500. Yeah,
But more than just on level 500, like the specific where in level 500 on the planet.
oh sorry.
So
Hold
Yeah,
on,
so
hold on a second.
so
Hold on a second.
they probably would have included like maybe nearest elevators to take that are in working order, right?
Can I just roll an underworld intelligence and
If you want to.
and know how to get down there?
Sure.
Well, yeah, I just thought the Jedi might have given it to us in their intelligence report.
Yeah, I'm about to cease the hoo-ha over it. How many purple do I need on this?
I mean, you're kind of connected with the underworld, right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So I'll say just 2 purple. It'll just be normal. Yeah.
Oh, did I? So I'm pressing the button.
I'm not seeing it.
Me either.
To refresh.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me try doing it real quick. I might need to reload the thing, maybe.
Well, Monty was rolling earlier, right?
He was rolling with like the
Oh, the big die.
normal dice. Yeah.
I was using the
Yeah, because my buttons don't work.
Roll20 app.
Yeah, let me go restart let me go reload and restart the thing. Be right back.
I wonder if their site's having issues. I'm trying to log in now and it's having trouble.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, maybe. That could also be.
Gateway timed out. Uh-oh.
working for me.
Roll20 host error. Your browser working. Working. Are you actually logged in, April?
Yeah, Chris and I are both, and Monty are all in here.
Oh, it just let me log in now.
Genko
There
just
did something.
threw some dice. Hold on, if you
It's
can.
letting me roll, no problem.
Okay, yeah, now I can log in. For a second, it was a problem.
There we go.
Is it working?
Yeah. In fact, it rolled twice for whatever reason.
Mm. Alrighty then. Okay. So we'll go with the first one.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah. You know. So.
So can I
you're
just
trying-
guide everyone down to the coordinates?
Yeah. So I mean, you know, the coordinates like it's actually like it's called like Warehouse 13.
It's close to a dealer that I know, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So 500. You do know that getting down there is probably going to take a while
Okay.
because I think because I don't know what level Coruscant proper.
5,100 and something is the top level.
Okay.
5,127 is the top level.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, you know, navigating from like, you know, flying down there, then navigating to the different things is gonna take at least a couple hours.
I'll get my purple gloves ready for Warehouse 13. No one else watched that show?
No, sorry.
Which show?
Yeah.
I
Not
Warehouse
for a
13.
long time.
No, I don't know what that is.
It was a sci-fi original show at the playing at the same time as a show called Eureka.
I've seen 2 sci-fi original shows. One of them was the Battlestar Galactica reboot by Ron Moore, and I think the other one was the Magicians, which is a brilliant 3-book series by an author called, I can't remember. The books are amazing. These sci-fi series is really shitty.
Be right back real quick. My cat wants out.
Magicians is by Lev Grossman. Yeah, Lev Grossman. Yeah, if you've not read The Magicians, it is absolutely fantastic. It's kind of like Harry Potter for adults.
Yes. Yeah, everybody starts kind of university age, 17, 18.
All right, I'm back.
The show is not very good though, and after a few episodes, it just kind of stops following the books and like does its own thing. So it's gonna take us a couple of hours to get down there because the Jedi Temple is on the top level of Coruscant.
Yep. But yeah. So you successfully navigate everybody down to level 500.
Mm-hmm.
And like as you go, like, and as like you will, you know, descend, you know, you do like, you know, you see like a very like, you know, vast like a very like marked difference in the levels, like, you know, level.
It starts to
Yeah,
get
when
shittier and shittier, I think is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I don't know why. Like,
I just thought you were trying to be really diplomatic and trying to be like, oh, the quality varies, and it's like, no, it just gets more ghetto as we go down, I think.
It has heart.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's got good
Real
bones.
fixer-upper.
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's
and
Detroit.
also like, okay, I take offense to that as a Michigander.
Do you live in Detroit?
No, I live in Petoskey.
Okay, have you ever been to Detroit?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Detroit.
Detroit's a piece of shit, Sean. I don't care where you live. Detroit's a piece of shit.
I mean, better than Ohio.
I mean, it's probably better than Flint, but not by much. Also, yeah, Ohio sucks.
Yeah.
I did a guest conducting gig in Ohio. I think it was Ohio. This is the Black Swamp Symphony. It was an all Star Wars concert. I fucking hate Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio sucks.
Is it Defiance College? I think.
The convention.
Yeah, fuck Ohio.
Yeah.
Do you live in
So you
Ohio,
were really
Monty?
in the boonies.
Wait, do you know where Defiance College is?
Where Defiance is.
Yeah, because I was only there a couple because I drove out there for a rehearsal, and I drove out there for the show, and I stayed the night with the friend that taught tuba out there. I'll never go back.
Okay, so we have stepped out of the elevator into this brave new world.
Yeah, into the Ohio of Coruscant, I think is what we've established.
I thought you said stepdad of the elevator, and I was like, wait, what? Sorry.
We've sauntered. Some of us have sashayed.
But then I realized you said stepped out. I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. I don't know why I thought you said stepdad, but anyway, sorry. Yeah, so yeah. So you do get to level 500. You do see that it's very run down. You see some housing, but like it's very old and dilapidated.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of like the places actually don't even have like electricity on, or like the ones that do, like the power flickers every so often. You see some you do see some like kind of like restaurants, or not even restaurants really. They're more like
Someone
know
with
how
their
in, like-
grill like out in front of their house.
uh, not that so much as like you know how I say like I'd say like in Japan there's like those
It's a wet market.
Street markets.
I kind of like like the ramen places in Japan where like you kind of
Like the
grease
street
the
vendors?
outside. Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. So like
That's really
no,
great
like,
fucking food, by the way.
Well, no, right. I'm not saying it's not. I just meant that like there's like not really like a lot of like everything is so condensed here that like there's no like big restaurants. It's all just kind of like someone kind of like hollowed out like maybe like the front of their house, and then
Mhm.
they're kind of like right.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like that. Um, and you do see like the food is very like probably not up to like Coruscant regulation standards. You actually see like you see like a kid probably like sitting by like his parents. They're kind of like in like um old Coruscant like um it looks like it used to be like finery, probably like was dumped and like they maybe like they got it out of like the trash, or maybe it was like some type
Oof.
of like Senate like charity hand me down kind of. You see like the kids like eating like some type of like Coruscant rat on a stick or something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's probably a mutant rat. Just saying.
Right. But yeah, as you're kind of walking, you see a Rhodian comes up to you though, Kel.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like he pulls a blaster out, and like he points it at you.
Not again.
And then almost immediately afterward, he starts laughing, and he kind of like pulls you into hug.
Oh, it's. Sorry, what's your name?
He says, "Hey, how could you forget my name? I'm your dealer."
You're. This is gonna sound real bad, and I'm sorry, my friend. I've met a lot of Rhodians. I'm not saying you all look the same, but you know.
This is his name. It's Jordrug. No, oh sorry, Jordug Kasumarol.
Oh, it's Dougie.
Right there.
Did you grow an antenna back?
He says not exactly. He says, and you see him kind of like pluck it off his head,
Oh, that's
kind of like
disgusting.
a USB slot, and he puts it back in.
Does that thing get
Is it-
5G? Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, he says, oh, like it was. He says it was a quick. He says, like the what are what are it's not Ripper Doc. That's Cyberpunk. What are the
Like
I
a
guess the
cybernetic.
yeah.
It's probably it's that from the Book of Boba Fett, that one rando doctor that gave Fennec Shand robo abs.
Yeah, I feel like there was
Modders.
Yeah,
modders. Okay, thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, he said he went to like his. He said like he went to his local modder and he installed it. He says, and then you actually get like you all kind of like see like the paint job on it. Looks like it's custom, and you do see some like of the metallic shining through the green, which shows that it wasn't like probably like a great paint job. And like he plugs it back in, kind of like via like USB slot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So do you get cable with that,
Perfect
or
sense.
He says no, nothing like that. It's just purely cosmetic. He says.
well, I mean, not to be a dick, but what are you doing here? Because I don't owe you money anymore.
He says, well, I mean, what? I can't greet a friend. He says.
No, you can. I just, the gun and everything.
He says, hey, you gotta pull a prank every once in a while, right?
Yeah, I suppose you do.
And he like looks up to me. He says, he
Also,
says,
before you go any further, there's another Jedi with me, so let's keep details as vague as possible about my past, if you wouldn't mind.
okay. He gives you like a wink, and he says, oh
Man,
right.
a wink on a Rhodian must be so fucking obvious.
They do it with their whole body.
They don't
But he
wink. They
says-
just do it. They do an entire body wiggle.
They just say wink.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that in the Acolyte trailer when the Jedi says like close your eyes and you see like that one.
The one
alien
kid
with
that doesn't have eyelids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's pretty. That's pretty racist, actually.
Yeah, pretty ableist of him.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, not that I don't mind seeing a friend, but you seem like you might want to talk about something.
He says, I mean, you're down here, aren't you? Aren't you here for? And like he kind of like does like a does try to does like a very sort of like coded like like snorting thing, like.
Subtle and vague. Thank you. No, that's not why we're here.
Oh, he says, oh well, how come you are down here with your friends? With
It's-
your fine friends. He says.
It's Jedi business. This is my friend Chance and Briya, and this is my colleague from the Jedi, Droba, and this is my Padawan, who, and you're not going to believe this, we convinced the entire Jedi was Force sensitive. I just made him my Padawan, and they just let me. So this is my Padawan, Genko.
Reach my hand out and say hello, and if he has any snacks, my blood pressure's low.
Okay. Yeah. So you reach your hand out and
No spice.
No spice.
No, I'm saying this
My
to the
fish-
Rhodian.
my
I'm
fish
saying this.
palate
I'm
can't
saying
take
this to the Rhodian because I know him.
Oh, spice,
Yeah.
not like food spice.
Yeah, he likes to give you the good stuff, and then that way you come back.
but yeah, he shakes your hand. Or sorry, he shakes your hand and he says, pleased to meet you. He says, name's Jordug.
Genko, show me your training saber.
Pull it out and immediately turn it on.
How fucking cool is that, man? Training saber. It won't
He
cut
says,
you
yeah.
open, but it'll sting like a bitch.
Yeah, he says, no, it's pretty cool. Good job getting a Padawan. He says.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Jedi, like a full-fledged Jedi Knight before long.
He says, no, hey, good for you, moving up in the world, right? Be a Jedi Master soon, then.
Yeah, we're gonna see how far we can take it. Yeah, I mean, you know how the Jedi are.
But he says, but anyway, though, he says, so Jedi business, huh?
Yeah, the kind
He
I can't
says-
talk about.
Gotcha. He says, anyway in need of a finder's fee, he said.
Depends on what you know.
He says, well, it depends what you're looking for.
Stop fucking around with me. I'm a Jedi.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't know what you guys are looking for. So, like, he's asking, like, what do you need, if that makes sense.
So you really don't. You haven't heard anything about any items down here that someone's trying to get rid of?
He says everyone's trying to get rid of something.
I
down
mean,
here.
it's not anything. It's something the Jedi would be interested in.
Oh. He says, oh, right. Okay, something the Jedi would be interested. Okay. He says, no, that makes sense. He says it's not like the Jedi come down here in any act of charity or anything. He says. But
That
yes.
was a dig.
Sorry. But yeah, he says, well, actually, now that I think about it, he says, I had heard that, through some hushed whispers that, Warehouse 13 contained some type of, something about Jedi might be interested in whatever in there, he says.
So I put several credits in his hands, more than, like, noticeably more than anyone would be paying for information out of respect and because we're friends. How many people are in this warehouse, do you think? And, like, are we trying to get fucked here, or is this legitimate?
He says, yeah, I'll probably be doing that tonight, he says, but, like...
Oh, that probably didn't translate very well. Are we walking into a trap?
Oh, he says, I mean, if they're expecting you, then probably not, he says. He says, I mean, I don't think... he says people are desperate down here, but I don't know if they're desperate enough to, like, try to take on 3 Jedi, he says.
Oh, 2.5, but yeah. I catch your meaning.
I puff my chest up at the mention of 3 Jedi.
You're still wearing your robe that we like. We stopped by the quartermaster, right? And got a robe and a chest-mounted lightsaber holster.
Yeah, it's across my chest, like how I used to carry my daughter.
Well, you can't think of anything else that we should know before we go into this?
He also tells you that he tells you that there's a back entrance. Like he says some of the grading underneath the about 500 feet away from the warehouse is kind of like loose. So if you want to try to get in through like underneath the floor, you could to get into the warehouse.
All right.
If you didn't want to.
Side eye it, Droba.
What was that?
I don't know. Fitting through the grates.
Yeah, I figure we'll talk about it before we make a decision anyway. But
Or Droba slime.
so, remind me to tell you the next time we talk about the quality spot. Sorry, the quality product that I ran into a few days ago. It was pretty interesting. Something you'd like to hear about. Oh, he nodded off. He had too much spice.
No, sorry. I don't know why.
He just died of an overdose right in front of us.
Right. No, sorry. I was just thinking about something. I'm sorry. But Genko, sorry, this will sound weird. How does everyone's character, like, what is their like preference for people?
I don't mind them.
I prefer them slow roasted, usually like over the course of maybe 13, 14 hours, and then served with like a red wine.
I prefer them mostly over text message and maybe 1 or 2 of them in person every once in a while. Why?
Yeah.
Well,
all of these are correct answers.
Sorry, I meant more like if this like so if this Rodian was to like show interest in somebody, who wouldn't prefer?
Well, I think we'd all have our different response to that anyway, right?
Well, right, but I mean, I want to respect everyone's characters. Like,
I mean, I assume he's not going to try to molest me.
He wants the Rodian to hit on someone, but he doesn't want to make it weird.
You're asking us, he's asking us at the GM, as players, if we're comfortable letting him have NPCs hit on us or that sort of thing.
I'm cool. I mean, we should probably keep it PG.
Right. I just meant like if it goes against your character's preference, that I wouldn't do it. If that makes sense. Yeah. That's how I was wondering
I gotcha. No, it's a good question. This is one of those post-mortem things after we're done. I'm making a list. This is one of these things that we need recorded before we start.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not your fault. It's just I've never done this before, so there's a ton of shit that I've been just kind of like thinking of and writing down, to do better like the next time we do it.
Gotcha. But yeah, okay. So, so I'll just move on with this then.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, he tells you, be careful. He doesn't want like his favorite customer to vanish on him. He says,
You said ominously.
no, not honestly. He said, he said it with like heart.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. How's business?
He says it's okay. He says, like some days are better than others. He says trying to work his way up, to level 1,000. He says,
It's a
smooth
lofty
sailing from
goal.
there. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hate to break you loose, but we've got to get this done.
He says, I got you. He says, he says, I understand. He says, I also have places to be. He says, he draws into another hug.
As we walk away, when I know that Drolba isn't looking,
Check your wallet.
I reach into my tunic and throw a dime bag at him.
When he's getting that hug, can I take a close look, just in case this guy is trying to plant something on Kel?
Yeah, if you want to roll a perception check, feel free.
Okay. Like a tracking device or something? Especially since our characters have been involved with that multi-billion-dollar credit bounty.
Someone's about to get mind tricked, by the way, if he put a fucking tracker on me.
Let me see. First roll of the night. Me. What'd you say it was?
Perception.
It'll be 2 purple and then perception. Yeah. Did you?
Ignore the force die.
Okay. Yeah, you don't. I mean, you kind of like maybe you do like kind of like a walk around Kel kind of, and like the Rhodian, or just maybe like you're kind of like leaning your head over.
As I'm watching him out of the corner of my eye, wondering why he's walking around us.
Right.
I prefer not to make it that obvious, but
Okay. Yeah. So how would you, I mean? I guess.
It's just being a hug inspector, That's a total normal Star Wars thing.
Drolba's like, you guys need to be leaving room for Jesus.
I have I have my helmet on, so I could just be watching just through the helmet, and I have like a threat monitor.
It's like having sunglasses on and you can't tell where they're looking.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of like, you watch. You don't see the Rhodian doing anything. Like, it doesn't look like he's doing anything nefarious. It looks like he's just, pulling.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on a lower level. It's best to be a little bit cautious.
To be fair, Doug has been putting his hands on me for a really long time without any ill effect. Not in that way.
Drolba's not saying anything, just watching.
All right.
And then he's gonna make his leave and kind of go like the way you guys were coming from. If that makes sense.
So as we walk off, I'll toss a dime bag over my shoulder to him, and because I know Doug, he will have been waiting for it.
Dime bags are like
just as a kid, like a little bag of spice,
Gotcha.
just as a friendly,
Just a taste.
Yeah.
But yeah, he appreciates it. He says thanks.
Damn sure he does.
And I thought, and like you see him, like instead of like snorting it, you actually see him just kind of like
He sticks it in his antenna.
No,
that's what the antenna's for. He just takes it off.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he does. He sticks it it takes the antenna off
straight into the brain.
Yeah. You see him kind of go haywire for a second, and then he's kind of back on his way.
Yeah, we better get out of here because he'll want to talk more here in a few minutes. Okay, so we're going to a warehouse. There's a secret entrance in. The thing is that, I mean, we're expected at a meeting. It would be a little weird if we snuck in. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, it's good to know that it's there.
Yeah.
Expecting you.
Just in case we need it.
Yeah, my second thought is maybe we send Brya in for some reconnaissance while I make my way to the front door.
He yearns for the crawl spaces.
I presume that the council, in telling them that, you know, we're being sent as the representatives, they're going to be expecting 3 Jedi now. Because they wouldn't want these guys to be spooked from the meeting.
Yeah. Also,
So-
wouldn't put it past the Jedi not to do a proper threat assessment on this either. So this very well could be a trap.
It could be, but that's what our training's for. Also, just curious, what is the end game here with Genko? Since this whole Padawan thing seemed to be a bit haphazard.
To you.
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
I interject and say, I don't know why you keep saying Padawan. We've been saying 3 Jedi for the last 10 minutes now.
I think we've promoted him via adoration.
Yeah. I've heard it enough times.
You've gotten a field promotion.
See, I just assumed the end game here was trolling the hell out of the Jedi Council.
That's strangely exactly word for word what I was about to say.
Okay.
I think it was mostly an inside joke between Genko and I, just to see how fucking stupid it could get.
Oh, I'm just jazzed to be on the show.
Just an honor to be considered.
Yeah,
It's like, put me in, coach. I'm ready.
exactly.
But yeah, so you guys gonna make your way over to the
The warehouse.
the warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Thanks. But yeah, so you guys
I
make your way
was-
to the warehouse.
I mean that Brya, I'm not sure if, I mean, you're kind of the perfect person for this. If we get into a jam, you might be able to see it before any of us do. But if you'd prefer to stay with us as well, you know.
Well, I can. Why not working?
No, I heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can sneak in there and take a look.
You're probably the one that's least likely to get caught.
Go.
The professional.
Check it out.
The professional thief. All right. Well,
Also, Kel, Droba, and Genko, are the 3 of you like trying to hide the fact you're Jedi, or you're all just kind of like, or are you all just kind of like, kind of like walking with like, the grace and dignity of Jedi, if that makes sense.
I can tell you that Kel is walking down here the way that he normally does, which is doesn't hide the fact that he's a Jedi, but also, I mean, I don't think many people would be necessarily surprised to see me down here.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm slithering around in my full body armor, so I'm not sure how Jedi-like that looks, or how I can slither like a Jedi.
No, I
You're
gotcha.
slithering with distinction.
There's an air of arrogance about it. It's a
Yeah,
special
yeah.
Jedi thing. They
I'm
teach a
already-
whole class on it.
I mean, I'm already a Hutt, so arrogance is almost kind of like built into the DNA.
Yeah, on a genetic level.
I mean,
You're already superior.
to not move a little arrogantly would just be bizarre.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the only people really. So I'm gonna say Droba then.
Because Kel doesn't wear Jedi robes, right?
He wears a tunic and like a general, like what he's in my character portrait is what he wears.
But what I'm saying is, like, the only one who looks actually stereotypically like a Jedi right now, ironically enough, is Genko, because he's basically wearing the bog standard Jedi robe and gear that you just put him in.
I don't know what's ironic about that. He's a Jedi.
See, we've said it again.
I'm saying this as Richard, not as Drolba.
Hey man, I gotta back up my buddy Genko on this. I'm saying that as Monty.
Also, sorry, April, is this GIF you put in our group chat? Is that Brian calling into the?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly, yeah.
All right. I'm a tube now. Brian's camouflage is just corrugated tubing.
Right. So I guess how many? So do you guys scope out the warehouse then? Like you step.
Well, that's what I was talking to Brian about. Like maybe we hang out like a block away and we kind of look at the front of the building, and we wait for Brian's professional assessment.
I think they're just to crawl underneath and see what's going on.
Yeah. And we'll keep
Okay.
you on comms.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Brian, let us know when you've commenced the tube maneuver so we know you're in.
Also, so Kel, so you're down here at least a little bit, right? Like you said, you make frequent, or at least you're down here enough that maybe people kind of like know you, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Drolby, you're not showing that you're a Jedi in any way, like because like even your lightsaber doesn't look like a typical lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then Chance and Briar, maybe like your clothing might get you some looks because it's probably finer than what the people down here are wearing. So I'm gonna say then that the only person like maybe like people are kind of like looking at you then, Genko. Like maybe you're drawing like maybe like they've never seen you down here, and they're not really used to like Jedi. They're not really used. Well, I mean, like they're not really used to like say like Jedi coming down here a lot.
Yeah, and I mean
So
all of his shit's new because we just got it, so like it's fresh.
yeah.
But I misinterpret these looks for admiration, and I'm really starting to buy into the fact that I am
It just
it
just reinforces it.
Yeah.
The chest puffs out a little bit more.
Right.
Exactly.
Mm.
You are the quintessential Jedi.
Yeah. To all these people, I am.
Just make sure you walk with an air that you're here to bring them, happiness and to fix all of their problems.
Oh, I mean that's a bit of a reach.
Well, we all know it is. Just pretend like that's why you're here. Also pretend like you own everything.
I can do that. I'm old.
Yeah. So, Brian, you're gonna sneak into the
Yes,
building
we're gonna
then?
check out the tunnel that was given to us by the dealer and see if we can sneak in there and take a look.
Okay. Yeah.
The dealer.
The grading is loose, but it's not like it's loose, but it's not like disconnected.
Okay.
So someone's gonna have to like take it off, and it's like a and it's not like a small grading. It's think of like kind of
Control
like
panel?
I think of it as like a manhole cover, if that makes sense.
So it's like heavy, you mean?
Heavy, but also like heavy, but also kind of like maybe like
To be moved from time to time.
no. Sorry, I was thinking more like I'm trying to think how big a manhole cover is, or maybe like
I can
maybe
tell you
like,
it's roughly the size so that a fully
Of a
grown
man.
man could crawl through it.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's probably like 2 times the size of that then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there I mean, is there a tool that she needs to open it, or is it just stubborn? Like she's
No, it's just like a floor grate kind of.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I
like,
must have
there's holes in it.
misunderstood what you said. No, never mind.
It's
I
like
was-
a strength. Is it like a strength check sort of thing?
Yeah, if you want to use strength for it, sure. It'll be since you're doing it, it's just gonna be 2 purple.
So
Okay.
Drobel's not with us then.
Well, yeah. No, I was just asking what sort of a check that she was looking at. Like, I'm still with the other 2 Jedi.
What is
Looks like something I can handle or not?
Oh, if you want, I mean, you probably don't know, just because you're probably gonna have to like. I
I'll
mean,
try.
yeah. So for you, Brian, it's gonna be 4 purple.
Ooh. Yeah, I might
So
have
this is an athletics check, right?
Yes, yeah.
you can do it.
to apply the appropriate leverage.
So also, and also for relative, uh, relative kind of like to give an idea, this is about like maybe 500 feet away from the entrance or so. And then are you guys standing all the way? Are you guys standing even further back from Briar then?
Yeah, I think we're like half a block away.
2
right?
success and 3 threat.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So you know, like maybe are you trying to like blend in with people, like not try to be obvious?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you see Briar, you struggle a little bit to lift this, but eventually like you're able to kind of like you kind of like transfer most of its weight maybe to like its side, and then you're able to kind of like slip it underneath of it.
But you pulled your
the
back.
right, yeah.
I can incur strain if necessary.
It's not going to be strain. What happens though is that you technically didn't move it, if that makes sense. So like as you kind of like exit, so as you kind of like get underneath the floor grate, it kind of like falls back down, like kind of like not in place, but like kind of like over top of everything. So if you're gonna try to move, get out of it, you'd have to move it again.
Well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
And it also makes like a very loud kind of like heavy sound as you
Clang.
do it. Yeah, and people actually kind of like.
Do we hear it half a block away?
Yes. Yeah.
Kel's
you
gonna
do hear it.
wince.
Well, I'm gonna make myself scarce before somebody comes to check that out.
And everyone's played like the Batman Arkham games, right?
Yeah.
So you know how like he moves underneath the flooring, kind of.
Yeah.
Think of it like that.
Like during the stealth portions.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. You can press Y and jump out and grab someone.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Not
Do
with
it.
my strength.
Grab your controller, Brian. You can do this. Just watch out for the guys that glow orange. They have guns.
Have an unblockable attack.
Turns out Batman is actually very weak to bullets.
Oh, kind of like everybody.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
That body armor sucks, actually.
See, the whole point of Batman is he's meant not to get hit.
Yeah. Or it hit in his bat signal, right? Like that's the actually like that's the part of him that's truly bulletproof is his bat signal.
Yeah. Yep.
I always really appreciated that about those games that
Moving along.
Oh, sorry. Yep. That was about to be a tangent.
Yeah. So I guess Brian, like, let me know, kind of like, are you like kind of following like the system then?
Yes, to head towards the warehouse.
Okay. So you're heading towards the warehouse, and you come to like a fork in the road. It goes left or right.
Let's try right.
Take the
Yep,
path less traveled.
Yes, you go right, and you can hear actually as you're kind of like going. I'm so this doesn't sound weird, but it almost kind of feels like there's a bit of like an oppressive atmosphere now, like underneath the flooring. Not like emotionally or anything like that, but like it maybe like you kind of like know like maybe like something like heavy's like maybe like you probably know that you're under the building now, and like you can also hear like
Okay.
footprints above you.
Yes, that makes sense. I understand what you're saying. It's definitely, yeah, I understand.
Pictures on.
And then yeah, and as you kind of like you're able to kind of like there is like some light kind of like coming through like a little hole in the flooring.
Take a look.
Yeah, so in the middle of in the middle of this building, you see kind of like a group of people, two on one side, two on the other, and in the middle is sort of like this like this maybe like 10 foot tall kind of like spire of an item.
I'm sorry. Did you say spire or spider?
Spire.
Oh,
S-P-I-R-E.
all right. Okay. Whew. 10-foot spider, I don't think is something I want to deal with today.
Right. But yeah, so you see like like you just see like this spire of an item, and you hear someone say, someone's just like, "Man, we're the Jedi. I thought they were going to take this thing off our hands already." He says it's giving me the creeps.
I will move back away a little bit so I'm not directly on top of them. Move maybe 20, 30 feet away and contact Kel. Says, yeah, it looks like they're just here waiting on you. They've got some kind of 10-foot stone obelisk with them.
Okay,
Everything
so we're
seems
gonna have to have
pretty
Drobo carry
normal.
that probably. All right. Well, why don't you meet us on the corner where the building is, and we'll knock on the door.
I might need somebody to help
Strongest
me. I
Jedi
might need
ever.
someone to help let me out.
Oh, right, because of the noise. Droba, do you think you want to help Bri out?
If only we had an incredibly buff hut.
I will go over to the grate and open the grate for her.
Okay, it's gonna so for Drolba it's gonna be 2 purple
Great.
with a blue.
Okay, 2 purple with a blue.
Can a crowd start to come around as they see a hut trying to lift a grate up?
Oh
There
wow,
we
look
go.
at that. Oh, look at that. It's a triumph. Nice. Yeah, so you got 5 successes and a triumph. So like you just like you like go over this grate, maybe like you're kind of flexing, kind of like, you know,
Does this even count towards my reps for the day?
actually it doesn't. Like, you know, you think like maybe this thing like is heavy because like, you know, Brian had like a hard time with it, but like when you bend down to like get it, it's not even like like it barely registers for you.
Ah, well. I'll have to lift more later.
Do you toss it like a frisbee?
No,
No.
I don't want to.
Sorry, I think what Sean meant is, can you throw it like a frisbee, please?
Oh, Droba probably could, but he doesn't want to cause a massive commotion.
Okay. It's the cabin.
It just takes a kid out or something. The only thing that's left are his shoes.
It kills Kel's dealer.
Yeah.
I tap into the force and I throw it into orbit.
You throw it in the orbit.
And that's how the Coronet satellite system is destroyed. The internet goes down for everyone.
Yeah, it's like when you guys leave the planet, you just see like this thing floating in space. Bri, you see Rolbo just like easily like lift this sort of like, you know, like heavy grate off the floor.
I look at everyone and say, well, I think we should proceed in, and I head towards the main entrance.
As we approach the entrance, can I start to use my powers of observation?
Yes. Do you want to do a perception check?
Sure.
Okay. What are you trying to perceive?
Security systems. Anyone like anyone across the street who are maybe like a lookout. Anything that would be a danger to us.
You do see a couple lookouts stationed like either side of the warehouse,
Mhm.
but they're kind of leaving you alone.
They probably know we're coming. I assume.
I mean, you'd probably know that like since your lightsaber is out and like you kind of wearing like Jedi robes, um, they know that you're probably here for the item.
Okay. Well, I knock very politely at the front door.
Okay, yeah. You knock and like the doors slide apart and like you see like this large kind of like spire looking object.
Well, Drolba, do you think you can pick that heavy ass thing up?
Does
All is
look
it?
like a-
Also, can you tell like what is our general like since Drolba and I are force sensitive? Are we getting any kind of like feeling from it or?
Yeah, so this is what it looks like.
No, that's pretty phallic.
Oh, that's
But yeah, so that is what it looks like, and
what sort of
yeah.
vibe you're coming off of the thing?
Sean, that's a
Oh,
giant.
sorry.
That's a giant 2-pronged dick.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, it's I would say you Droba and actually Genko kind of get like a kind of get like not migraines or anything, but you do sense there's something maybe off about it maybe.
Kind of icky.
Oh, but Kel feels comfortable in its presence.
Oh, sorry, when I said you I meant Kel, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you said Genko.
Right. Yeah. Genko also
Okay.
senses it.
I'm
So
I'm
do I sense it?
whispering. I'm whispering to Genko how to feel. That way he can pretend to be more sensitive.
I'm just looking at Kel's face and mimicking
Just
his facial
mimicking.
expressions.
Did I not say Droba, Richard? I'm sorry.
No, you said.
Yeah, no. You were saying the fake Jedi.
When it,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when I asked, what I meant was like Drolba and Kel, since we're both actually force sensitive.
But all three of you do sense it though.
Oh, all right.
Nice. Force powers by proxy.
Well, this is the not fun part of having the force. I don't know, man. So how do we transport it? Or there are people here, right?
Yeah.
Like, people guarding it.
Yeah, there's the four people.
All right.
You
So,
see.
so where did you guys find this?
Also, what the fuck is it?
So he says we found it on a planet. It was a snowy planet. He says it was just kind of like he said it was just kind of like sitting. He says it was just kind of sitting there. He says, and we thought, this. He says, I don't know, something called to us to take it to the Jedi. He said so. He says we did.
Well,
Something called what? If you have that planetary data, that will be useful.
Yeah. So he hands you the planetary data. And it's the name of it is Hoth.
where the
Okay.
fuck's that?
Maybe the archives have something.
I don't know. I try to avoid snow planets. The Chiss are a temperate people.
We were there.
We went to Hoth.
Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Both or some?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You guys.
Remember that guy dressed in the Wampa skin?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hoth
That's why
sucks.
I've got the Wampa rug in my.
Let me rephrase. I don't plan to go back to Hoth anytime soon.
They said they found it on like the northernmost like cap.
What were you doing there? Were you treasure hunting or?
He says, "You won't arrest us if we tell you, will we? Will you?"
No.
We're more interested in the provenance of this item.
We ain't no snitches.
He says,
All good answers, guys.
So,
Fuck the police.
he says, sometimes you need like an out of the way place to kind of like store your goods,
Oh,
for
okay.
later.
I got you. So that's where your stash is.
Yeah.
So-
He says,
Your narcotics
just have-
stash, I assume. Just asking curiously.
he says many items. He says,
Okay. All right.
So you just had you were compelled specifically to bring it to the Jedi Temple.
He said, "Yeah." Well, I mean, he said something about it just looks kind of Jedi, you know.
Did you hear a voice?
He says not really a voice, just something.
You were
compelled
just
us to bring
compelled?
it here.
A
Okay.
Yeah,
compulsion.
he says
That's
it just. Sorry.
I'm gonna reach out in the Force to this item.
Okay. Yeah. So you
I
reach
nudge
out in
I
the
nudge
floor.
Genko and I tell him to put his hand out.
Are you
Also
all,
put my hand out.
are all three of you reaching out?
Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, fuck it.
Okay.
I'm not reaching out for real. I'm like just physically reaching out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So you, Genko, and also are Brian and Chance reaching out?
No.
Okay.
Actually, Chance is taking slow step backwards.
I'm
Yeah.
Not this
He's
shit
reaching
again.
back.
pulling my blaster out and setting to stun.
And pointing it at Kel. Like, you motherfucker, if you get possessed again.
Chance is just trying to seem as small as possible, being like, "Don't look at me. Don't
He
look at
just
me." Don't
pulls
look at
his
me."
shirt up and covers his head with it.
Right. Yeah. All of a sudden, Genko, uh, Drolba, and Kel, Chance and Brian, you see the three of them just collapse right onto the floor.
We don't even get a roll.
Huh?
Can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're unconscious.
Well, okay. So yeah, I'll if you want to do a roll for the Force.
Okay.
Wait,
What do we?
Sean.
What do we?
I
roll
would
for?
argue that I don't fall to the floor unconscious because I'm not reaching out with the force.
Because
just
he
reaching
doesn't
out.
have any actual Force powers.
You didn't reach out to the Force, but the Force reached out to you, Genko.
Well,
Fair enough.
so Monty, I mean, would you be opposed to actually having Force powers?
Or catching
No,
them.
man, this is your story.
I know, but
Okay.
like it's your character. Like if you don't want, you know what I'm saying?
So, wink, wink. I reach out, thinking I'm just reaching out, and then I fall to the floor and collapse.
So before Kel loses consciousness, his last thought, seeing
how
Genko,
many
is that
purple?
he's a savant.
It's not gonna be any purple. It's just gonna be yeah. Are you trying to resist it? You're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I resisted the dark side presence on the previous planet from the Force bomb and everything.
So I gotcha. It's less like that. It's oh, what am I trying to think?
You don't necessarily have. I mean, you don't necessarily have to articulate it, right? Like, you know how it works. I mean,
Yeah.
if it knocks us unconscious, it knocks us unconscious, right?
Okay. Well, it does more than that, but I don't know. Like I don't want to just railroad you guys. Like if you guys want to try to resist it, you can.
Hey, man, you're the boss here.
Try to resist it. I'm completely caught unaware.
Okay.
I'm out.
Okay.
I'll roll to resist if you're letting us.
Yeah, I'll let you. Do you want to try to resist it, Cal?
No,
Okay. So yeah. So
Kel's tired. He needs a nap anyway.
So I'm gonna say it's just gonna be like a straight force roll, and then depending on what you roll, is kind of what
Based
happens.
on the discipline skill, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Chance and Briar, you two see Kel and Genko fall unconscious, and you see Drolba. Okay, so Drolba, this is what happens. So you kind of like you reach out, and you kind of feel like almost something is like trying to like suck your consciousness into this thing.
Oh my.
No,
And
Genko,
then,
we might be dead.
and then but kind of like you try to resist it, and like maybe like you kind of like go a little bit dark side. I mean you rely kind of like on the dark side, like kind of like a sorry, trying to think.
I swear to God, if you say Gray Jedi.
No, actually, how would you say you resist it, Ginkgo? I mean, Joel, but how would?
No, I would think upon my previous experiences with the dark side. kind of like draw upon that experience and try to hold myself to my convictions and where I am right now, and like especially if I'm seeing to either side of me, Genko and Kel both fall down to the ground. I don't want to let all of our force users to be taken out in one go. So yeah, just trying to hold on.
Yeah, so you hold on. You kind of feel dizzy after a minute, but you kind of like regain your composure.
What's that?
I say this thing attempted to suck my mind and very being inside of it.
Chance stares at you wide-eyed and blinks a few times.
And then
every time with
very
these
loudly.
motherfucking force things, dude.
and then I look, I guess, towards Kel and Genko. Do I feel their presence in the force, or
Are we dead? Are we still alive? Can you tell us?
Yeah, like
Are they breathing?
you're breathing. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Their bodies are there, but I'm guessing I'm not feeling their minds.
Yes, exactly. And in fact, I'm gonna go to them real quick if that's all right.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Genko and Kel, the two of you find yourself in sort of like a white, kind of like void. And you
My
see,
favorite kind of void.
I guess
and you see,
we live here now.
and you see this person.
Okay, well we're gonna have to kick him out of the void probably.
Yeah, this is our void. We got here first.
See someone like him, kind of like looking back at you. That's not what I wanted. Sorry. There we go. That's the right image. At first, he starts speaking like a weird language.
Ah,
but,
fuck
like,
one of these guys.
At first, he starts speaking like a weird language, but then it kind of like like translates like inside your head. It's almost like you're still hearing him speak his like alien language, but like it's being translated.
But we
if that
understand it,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, and essentially, he tells you that welcome to his prison where he's been locked in for the last 15,000 years. He says.
Your prison? Like it was built for you, or you're trapping us in it?
He says a bit of both. He says little column A, little column B. He says. He tells you that. He tells you that he says he's sorry for this, but he wants to be free. He says, and he says like but like kind of like by the rights of the prison though, you two will be like given a series of challenges, and if you both succeed, you'll be free to leave. He says, but he says if you fail 3 times, he says I get to leave through one of you. He says.
Well, let me tell you how you fucked up here, because this is one of the most powerful Jedi that the universe has ever seen. And I gesture to Genko.
Puff up my chest and take out my fake lightsaber, but drop it. And so now it's just kind of like floating in the white void away from me.
Also,
Okay.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I seem to remember learning about your race. You're a Rakatan, right?
He says he is a Rakan. He says.
And you
He
guys
says,
uniformly suck, right? Like in general. I'm asking in character. I'm asking him in character.
No, I know. That's just the way you said that made me laugh. I'm sorry. Yeah, he says. He says. He says. He says. Yeah. He says I dared question. He says I dared question like our empire and its goals. He says.
I'm gonna try to mind trick him.
Okay.
How do I do
They
it?
trying to mind trick him. Oh, it just be. Do you have the? I think it's.
It's
a contested roll.
Yeah. Do you have the because it's also like a force skill as well.
right.
Yeah,
Influence, right?
Yeah, do you have influence?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so it's gonna be a contested roll. You're gonna roll your force, and then he's gonna roll his own thing.
So you're talking about the middle dice, right? That's the force dice.
Yeah, the big white die with like the pips on
Okay.
it, yeah.
And how many? What should the number read above that dice in the middle?
What is your um what is your force rating?
Um, whatever it is, +1, because I had in my
It's
like
a 2.
career, I have the force rating boost as well.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna get two force die.
Okay.
I'd just be doing a series of like calisthenic stretches because I guess we're in zero grav and it's been a while, and my old bones really need the stretching. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Do I need any other dice or anything?
no.
Okay.
Because you're using the force. Ooh, thanks, dark side. So you're using the force. He's gonna roll.
You
Let's
know
see
what?
here.
What page your force persuasion's on?
I'm sorry.
Did you write what page your force persuasion power is on? I can tell you if you have a skill bonus to it because I have the book open.
The influence, you mean?
Yeah.
It's 294.
Influence. So you got this leveled up quite a bit, right?
Yes.
Alright. So you're making an influence power check. And so you can use so this is an opposed discipline versus discipline check.
Okay.
So you would be rolling discipline.
Yep. So discipline, which is will.
Full dark side, it seems.
Yep. All right. He got one success, but you got two force pips, so you mind trick him.
Oh, well, he would still be rolling discipline, wouldn't he?
He did roll his discipline. He got one success. Or are you talking about Cal?
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Because it's an opposed check. Like you roll discipline and he rolls discipline.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to roll your discipline, you can, Cal. But I mean, I was gonna give it to you just because he only got one success against your two black pips.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go with what you said then.
Sorry, Richard.
Yeah, no. I was just reading from the book how the power works.
No, next time we do it, I'll do it that way. Sorry.
Okay.
No worries.
So I was half expecting this not to work, so now I need to think for a second.
Also, I know she used the dark side. Would you say that, like, are you angry while you're doing this?
Yeah, I'm a little pissed.
Okay.
Hulk smash? I mean, Kale smash?
I have to think about what would actually work.
So the power itself, you can force a target to adopt an emotional state or believe something untrue, lasting for 1 round or 5 minutes.
Okay. So my mind trick is we are friends. We are allies.
Okay. Yeah. So he believes that you're allies with him. And he says, "Oh, hey, how you doing, buddy?" He says, "Not too bad
Really
here
are
a
the
while,
worst.
isn't it?" So how are we getting out? He says.
We want to leave. We don't want to be here with you anymore.
Oh, okay. That's kind of harsh to say to your friend.
Well, your head's on upside down, so shut the fuck up and tell us where to get out. I mean, look at them. They look like their heads are on upside down.
No, I know. It's just the way he said it.
He
Wouldn't
kind of
that
looks
mean,
like my Uncle Marvin, twice removed.
wouldn't that mean to him everyone else looks like their heads are on upside down?
Yeah, but he'd be wrong.
So he would understand the insult, though.
Yeah, I mean, he
Also,
I
he
mean,
would
yeah.
understand nothing because his head's on upside down.
Yeah.
Why do we hate this guy so much? Are they Star Wars bad guys?
They are kind of dick bags.
They're just colossal dicks in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
okay.
they were colonizers and stuff like that.
I've never met
Oh.
a Rakatan that I've enjoyed.
Gotcha. Because they just sound like a really tasty cheese. I don't know why we're being so mean.
Well,
to
I'm
them.
not saying you can't eat him.
Some nice.
I mean,
protein
Droba's
to
not
the
in here to
can.
virtue signal us, so if you want to try to eat him, go for it. Is he still really thrown off by the fact that it said his head was on upside down?
A little bit, yes,
Yeah.
but
Good,
he
that
says,
was the intended effect.
But he says, well, to get out of here, he says we have to get back into our own bodies. He says.
Oh fuck! So we have to do the challenges.
He says yes. He says I can't release. He says I'm not able to do it. He says the prison has to do it itself. He says.
Okay, so I don't think a mind trick's gonna work to get us out of here. Ganko, do you want to try to kill him?
By this point, I've now stopped doing my calisthenic stretches, and I'm just like kind of swimming like a frog in the white space.
Okay.
So I look over at you, and
Do you just want
I
to
go,
stay
"What-
here?
ki-
I mean,
I go kill him. Like, well, this is great. Why do we want to leave? It's so quiet.
that's a fair point.
I'm not hungry.
All right. Tell me about these challenges.
Can we do the challenges together? I ask.
So he says he's already failed the challenges to
Yeah.
try to leave.
No surprise
So
there.
He says he can't, but he says the two of you. He says with any luck, he says my two friends. He says, and he looks over at you, Cal, with kind of like a very like obvious kind of like sadness in his eyes because you were like racist to him.
Oh, don't worry, you'll get a lot less sad in 4 minutes when the force power wears off.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's when I cut his head off.
He says unless you want to be trapped in here like me, he says you'll have to complete 3 challenges. He says.
All right. Tell us about the challenges. What do we do?
He says the challenges are of skill. He says the challenges are of skill, knowledge, and athleticism. He says.
So I assume that's why you failed, because you don't have any of those things.
He says he has the intelligence. He says, but he says he didn't train his body in the same way. He says.
It would be pretty hard if the entire world appears to you upside down.
Yeah, makes sense.
He says, you know what? Maybe you're the ones who are upside down, and I'm the right side up.
Yeah, maybe. Let's do this first challenge. This is the challenge of strength, or the physical challenge. What were the challenges again?
So athleticism,
Okay.
knowledge, and then. Great, I lost. Sorry.
Just out of curiosity, is there any sort of time dilation happening for what's happening in there versus the outside world?
So like, there's no sense of time in the place. But
We're in a place outside of time and space.
But outside time is advancing though. Like you're not frozen in time, if that makes sense. Like everything's kind of.
I think what Richard is asking is if we don't have a sense of time, if 1 minute does 1 minute to us feel like a millisecond to the people outside?
No, it's 1 to 1.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So
Okay,
like.
so it's been like a couple of minutes to us outside now.
Yeah, and so like they still haven't woken up. Like they're breathing, but like.
Can we hear their voices where we are?
I'd say maybe like you hear something faint like in the back of your mind,
Okay.
but like you don't hear like
One of the things that we've done before, like for the Sith holocron and whatnot was destroy it as a way of stopping things.
That might
From my-
also kill us.
From my training, what would the likelihood of Drolba just trying to saber this thing in half be to release their minds from this object?
Or from life.
I guess, well, from training, I feel like that's a character question. I feel like if I answer it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, let's say something that he would have learned from Master Yoda or something. Like he's been basically training in the temple for around 100 years before
Okay.
becoming a
gotcha. I would say probably because like your master was Kronsock.
Mhm.
I would say probably Yoda teach Yoda kind of tried to like teach temperament, but Kronsock being a Wookiee, maybe like there were times where he kind of like gave in to like maybe not so much his anger, but like
Impatience, maybe.
yeah. So like there were times where like
Direct
maybe
approach.
yeah, like aggressive negotiations.
Mhm.
So I would say it probably wouldn't be out of character for Drelba to maybe think of Occam's razor, like, oh, if we destroy this thing, it'll free them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're still alive, and if they're still alive, that means it's this thing that's keeping them unconscious, basically.
Yeah, like that's what you're thinking, yeah. Right?
So
Okay.
while
And
Drolba is considering this, I turn to Ganko and say, it'd be really terrible is if someone did something rash, destroyed the monument, and we both died.
I just shrug and go, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, I guess we wouldn't see it coming. I mean, when you
Yeah.
consider all the possible deaths, both of us, important Jedi, could sustain. That is one of the more merciful ones.
Exactly.
And then we get to be Force
what-
ghosts, because I'm pretty sure you're Force sensitive now. So
I could be a Force ghost. I
Yeah.
could do it.
I'm well aware as the player, Richard. This is not going to probably work anyway, but I'd probably be loath for my lightsaber's probably going to bounce off against this thing, but he would probably try to see if he could destroy it as a way of getting them free.
Okay.
Drolba, I don't know if that's the best idea.
You have a better one?
How did you guys get this down here?
I'm just saying.
Brian's still trying to work out the logistics. The door's not even this
We
big.
need to get this out of here.
I'm just saying, if you start swinging a lightsaber at that thing, it might, I don't know, blow up in a giant force shockwave, and that seems like it would be bad.
From my knowledge, how likely would that be?
Well, I mean, you probably never experienced something like this before.
Mhm.
So or maybe you've heard of like things like this, but like you've never heard of it like just like exploding or imploding before.
I mean, it's pretty
Makes
rare,
sense.
right? Like the object is
Okay,
rare.
so then I'd be able to tell Chance that from my experience, these things wouldn't explode. Things of this nature wouldn't explode.
Per se.
Question: Is this like? Are there any obvious technological bits to it, or is it just a slab of rock with some force juju going on?
So if you want to make a perception check, feel free.
Do a little walk around.
Yeah.
I think I do.
Okay, so that'll probably explain our next few minutes of
Two
their test
purple.
Uh, it'll be one purple. It's just a solid object.
I'll assist him to give him a blue.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Hey, the blue helped.
I am the perceiviest.
So you
have
walk around-
perceived,
blew it.
sir. You have perceived.
You used your good old perceivers there.
All three, all two of them.
Yes, so you walk around this thing, and you like even with like you don't see anything that like, and this isn't me saying you failed the roll. This is you succeeded,
Yeah.
But there's nothing like there's no buttons. It's just like you're not sure who built this, but you're not sure if there's any buttons or if there were buttons.
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry.
I just see a slab of rock, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean it's not really rock. It's like it is metal.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Kind of like how a holocron can only really be accessed through the Force.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, for you, Chance, you don't see a way to access it.
Okay. So, Drolba, question, because I wasn't there. What were your orders from the Jedi Council?
Our orders were to see what this object was and to possibly bring it back, but considering its first response to getting in contact with a Force sensitive person is to pull their minds inside of it, it seems like this might have been a trap.
Well, now that I'm just saying, how we need to. Do we want to take this back to the Jedi so that they
No.
can see how to
That
It-
would be
get our
my
friends
first
out?
thought.
It could possibly trap a Jedi Master or someone powerful.
It could also be that the Jedi Masters have more knowledge about this sort of thing than we do.
So Genko and I can hear their voices echoing around, right?
Yeah, like in the back of your mind and stuff like that. Yeah.
So Genko and I are just having a very general argument about which one of them is right.
You hear the Rakan says, "Wait, who's right?" He says,
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying, nowhere in your orders did the Jedi Council say to find this thing and blow it up, right?
But it's taken both of them.
Which is why we need to get them out.
Yes, I wanted to try to see if I can get them out straight away.
I fully sympathize with that, but
maybe we need a second opinion.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to jump directly to things we can't take back.
I can't believe Chance is so
How
diplomatic.
high stakes this has gotten.
Can I try to communicate with someone out with the Force?
Yeah, roll.
I can actually get out my my comm link and contact try to contact Kronsock.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
gonna try to
I'm down with
communicate with
that.
them also, but it's just gonna come out as a fart.
Yeah, I would like to send a message to whoever. I'm not sure if I can even pick who it went to, but if I could attempt to use the Force to send a message.
Okay, yeah. Try to. Actually, sorry, not try. Roll. Sorry.
Yeah, do or do not. There is no try.
I'm just trying to think what type of skill this would be.
That is so fucking wise, Genko.
Sorry. You know what? I'm gonna say, roll a. Do a survival check with
Survival?
Yeah,
That's a 0. I don't have any survival.
Well, he doesn't want to make it easy.
Well,
You are an addict.
It's not that. It's just I'm trying to figure out what skill would work best with this.
Well, it would be like a Force power, right?
Well, right, but I'm gonna. Well, I was gonna have you use it with the Force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll do whatever
can I
you want.
use my
We do survival
deception
if you want. It's fine.
And then
instead of survival.
you want to use what, Genko?
Can I use my deception instead of survival?
Yes.
Deceiving the prison into letting you communicate with someone.
I need to
outside.
call my mother.
Listen, I've been deceiving all of you that I've been a daughterless bounty hunter the entire game. I think I've got it going on with lies.
Going to be one purple for each of you.
Okay.
One purple. Okay.
This almost certainly isn't going to go well. Oh, I still have the Force shit. Hold on.
Give me a second. This is also dragon for some reason.
So
Bam.
Oh, Kel. I mean, sorry, Genki, you didn't use the force.
How do you use the force?
It's the big white die in the middle.
Oh, we're supposed to leave that on then?
Yeah, because you're reaching out with the force, right?
Oh, yeah. So go with my first roll then, because I thought those weren't supposed to be on there.
Sorry.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, there you go.
Okay. So, this is what happens. Kel, you try to reach out with the force. And you feel like you can feel Drob's mind, but like you don't, like you're not able to kind of like maybe like what you're trying to say doesn't pass through, if that makes sense.
Right. So you can probably feel my presence, but not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then Genko. So you also try to, and I'm gonna say, let's see here. I'm gonna combine your first roll with your second roll. Um, and then I'm going to give it to the dark side. So, using the dark side narratively, how do you try to interact with somebody? Someone are you trying to get Drolba's attention, or who's essentially trying to get Ginkgo?
I'm trying to get Chance's attention because he seems to be trying to steer the conversation in a direction that is benefiting me, and
Okay,
I'm trusting the pilot with this.
okay, and keeping in mind with the dark side, narratively, what do you say to him? Like, how do you what do you do to try to, you know what I'm saying?
I'll just so do do Kel and I know that if the obelisk gets destroyed, we get destroyed?
I don't think anyone knows either way. I think that's what the argument is.
No, that's a complete unknown, I think, to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So then I'm gonna reach out, and I'm just
Theoretically, it might actually be the answer to this.
true. I'm not. As I've been listening to you guys argue, I haven't been discrediting that because in the past, just asking Drolba to lift up something that can't be lifted or destroy something that can't be destroyed has been, beneficial to us. But I'm gonna say to Chance basically like, "Hey man, this is my Jedi moment. Don't ruin it. I'm really vibing in the moment here. I think I got a handle on this whole thing.
It's way better
This is
down
my
here than you'd expect.
yeah. I quote Nicki Minaj and say, "This is my moment for life."
Also,
Yeah,
can we take a moment just to appreciate how absolutely freaked out Chance would be to be getting a message from the Force in his head?
Yeah, because yeah, you feel you like Chance so like you were talking with Drolba, you hear this like from Genko's voice just inside your head.
Okay, Chance is at first utterly horrified, and then really confused as to how Genko is doing this.
All the while,
I'm gonna turn to Drolba and say, "Hey, so complete change of subject here, but if someone was talking to you through the Force, say, could they sound like someone you know that wasn't them?"
theoretically, though, that would probably be a dark side technique.
Okay, so like I just heard
I'm gonna
Genko talking to me in my head, and I don't know what's going on with that because last I checked, he was not in fact a Jedi, despite what the comedy routine y'all are running with him.
Well, that Kel and him are running, yes.
They just don't get it,
I
do they?
will contact Kronsock with
I-
the and tell him what we have found, and I think we'll probably have to leave it till next time.
Do you want to go through the talk with Kronsack real quick?
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, that way we'll have a jumping off point for the next session.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oops, sorry.
Yeah, I'll say, Master. We have followed the council's instructions and have come down here. We have discovered an obelisk of I will state the dimensions. I'll say what it looks like, and it has stolen the minds of Kel and his. Well, Kronzak already knows. Kenko isn't really a Padawan from his previous interaction. And it attempted to take my mind as well. What should I do? I'm afraid that if I bring it back to the temple now, it might try to take more Jedi into it.
So Kronzak, he kind of mulls over the question for a bit. And this is a holographic telegram, right? Or yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it just
A holocom.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why it's not telegram.
Also,
sorry.
does Kronzak have like a beard that he can stroke while he's thinking about it?
Oh,
Yeah,
all
like-
Wookiees have beards.
Like, I'm thinking like Pai Mei.
They're 99% beard.
like Pai Mei and Kill Bill 2. Just like
Yeah.
he can like throw it over his shoulder.
Yeah, like maybe like he's kind of like an older Wookiee now, so he's like kind of graying. Like,
We should do a group
for it.
watch of those movies, by the way.
Yeah, they're
I'd be
fun.
up for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you see him kind of like stroking like his beard, like his kind of like now like graying beard. And he says, well, first of all, did you try destroying it? He says.
I was trying to. People stopped me.
He says, okay. So, he says, usually in situations like this, or if we ran into situations like this, he said, he says probably. He says it might be best to bring it back to the council. He says maybe having more minds on it would be a good idea, like getting
Or more minds
In it.
Yeah, I bring up that possibility to him of Jedi Masters being pulled into this thing.
Okay.
To be fair, one of them's a drug
Wouldn't
addict,
that be
so
a
like
threat to the council and the order in general?
He says it could be. He says yes, that's true. He says, well, what if we meet in the middle, and I make my way down there since I'm a council member.
Make
he
him
says.
away downtown.
That sounds good. That sounds like a good middle ground.
do.
Minister. I will bring this to and meet you in the middle, so we're not having to deal with this on a level where we're surrounded by murderers and drug dealers.
wow, that's fucking classist.
Yeah. He just says this like in front of the people that have been guarding
I was
this
gonna
relic.
say,
for-
how do the denizens of the area
The denizens
I-
of level 500 are staring
How
at
do
you.
the murderers and criminals directly in front of us feel?
And I say this, and I conduct this conversation entirely in Sherwook.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So it's just
Unnecessary
lots of growling into my helmet.
Okay. You see a Wookiee crew member. He's just shaking his head.
Oh.
He's like glasses.
Or just like the regular human speak Shiriwook. He's like, I understood what you said.
Yeah, right. Also, Brian, you'd asked before about the logistics of getting this thing down here. One of the probably like the captain of this crew, who he's in captain's attire or better attire, I'd say. He tells you, oh well, he says, we took this freight elevator. He says, and he like kind of like points to like the back, and it's just kind of like
That's
a big
good to
freight
know.
elevator.
Does it go to a landing pad or something?
It does, yeah.
Okay. All right, I think that's
Well,
sorry.
we could tell Kron to meet us there.
Yep. I'll say that to him.
Yeah, so we'll reconvene next
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yep, next week.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And then if you haven't subscribed yet to our various things on Facebook, Twitch, and Facebook Live, do that. And find something you enjoy and leave a comment on it. We had a really delightful comment today that ended up getting deleted, but it called out someone on the Battlefront team specifically and said something really mean about how they were playing. So don't do that. Don't be an asshole, because it'll just get deleted. But we do Battlefront and other Star Wars games throughout the week. Our live show the Jedi Enclave presidency. Now this is podcasting podcast at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. So check that out. And if you're here just for this, we'll see you next week.